Oud Indochin by the artisanal house of Maxim perfumes. Now, this is a bit of a pivot on the channel as far as you guys are concerned, because I've done dupes on the channel, I've done Middle Eastern perfumery on the channel, but I've noticed recently that some of my preferences have slightly pivoted towards more artisanal perfumery. Now, just a very quick differentiation here. What's the difference between like traditional Middle Eastern perfumery and artisanal um, perfumery? For one thing, artisanal perfumery is, for the most part, they use natural ingredients almost exclusively, though there can be exceptions in some cases. As in, allegedly, one of the great perfumers out there right now, Bortnikov, is allegedly pivoting his house towards using more synthetic ingredients. At least that's what's being alleged. That's not news. That needs to be verified, right? Um, Also, rare raw materials that are not allowed to be used by mass perfume producing houses are used in artisanal perfumery, right? Like, for example, deer musk, and civet that comes from a civet, and um, other rare ingredients that you wouldn't be able to scale at source because they're only available in small quantities and then for the year, and then that's it. So they can only be used in to produce perfumes in smaller batches. So I have not created any other content for this on my channel, but I have explored it myself for a while. So this isn't new to me, it's just new to me bringing it to you. So having said that, Oud Indochin is by Maxim, and if no one recognizes that name, if you've been exposed to some of the other great artisanal houses, Bortnikov, as I mentioned earlier, is one of them, and Maxim is the name of his son. So Maxim Bortnikov is Bortnikov's Dmitry Bortnikov's son, who obviously has learned a lot from his dad, and he's now set up his own house. And this is one of his top creations, from what I can tell. I have the entire sample set, which I'll show you perhaps in the next video. And I have a dry down of a few hours on my left hand, but I'm going to remind myself how this smells, spraying it on my other hand if I just. Yeah, wow, this is amazing. Amazing in that artisanal sense, right? So I see top notes of cardamom, red saffron, and vanilla on this, and that helps tame down and blend really beautifully together with some of the other chords that I'm getting. In the base notes, I see listed here amber chord, I see a note of chocolate, cocoa, Hindi oud kinam, oud South Thailand, and some tar as well. And you can tell just by the smell that the tar plays a major part. So there is no, even though there's those notes of vanilla and cardamom on top, the cardamom you can smell it slightly up front, but the other sweet notes of vanilla you can't really get. It probably just tames down a little bit of the oud, but you can't really get it in large space. But it's a very addicting and beautiful smell if you like animalic scent notes and deep ouds, deep resinous ouds. So this is nothing like what you would get from traditional Middle Eastern perfumery, like Darotib and the like, because there's no, it's very very heavily concentrated on oud, and that's very rare. Like for perfumes to just dry down to a very heavy base of oud is very rare and very expensive to source as well. So this is what I get in the opening, right? In the opening. Now, this on my left hand is the dry down from a couple of hours ago. It dries down. Now, traditionally, one thing to be noted here is that natural ingredients, they don't perform in terms of longevity as much as synthetic ingredients. That is one of the downsides to it. The upside is that it smells more classy, smells way different than the synthetic variety, which is one of the reasons folks gravitate towards paying the kind of money they pay for artisanal perfumery anywhere. So when this dries down, I get a light chocolate accord mixed with that mixed with a slight greenish, if you will, type of oud, and a very light um, remnants of Hindi oud, because there are like three types of oud there, right? Oud Kinam, oud Hindi, and oud South Thailand as well. I can recognize oud Thailand because I've smelled that before via a sample. So yeah, within a few hours it dries down to that, and it's very beautiful. And from the reviews that I've reviewed thus far, meaning the research I've done thus far, it is one of the most well recognized perfumes from his brand overall, and you can tell why. This is overall a really amazing creation. It goes for, I think it's the most expensive one, 30 ml, 50 ml, goes for 400 American dollars. But you can buy the sample set. So if you are someone who likes artisanal perfumery, you could buy the sample set or a few of the samples and take a smell at to see whether you like it. But yeah, it is just breathtaking. Artisanal perfumery, once you move towards artisanal perfumery, it's not, and even prior to it, in my opinion, you shouldn't be worrying about what other people think about it. Though this is not going to clear a message or anything like that. It's still pleasant, but it's not very beautiful. As in, it's not very pleasant smelling to the untrained blue nose, if you will. That's something to keep in mind. Which is why, as I've always said in all my reviews, usually, that it's always good to sample before you try it. See you in the next.